Hello traders, it's Giga from Get Funded Now. I'm thrilled to bring you another exclusive interview today. Joining us is Thato, one of our exceptional funded traders who achieved an impressive payout of $6,800 in just about 10 days. We'll talk about his biggest trade, which was made on crypto market. He traded Bitcoin, holding his trade over multiple days, netting him several $1,000s. Very interesting stuff ahead. Let's just jump straight into it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exclusive interview. I'm here with Thato Matebe. He's another funded trader at Get Funded Now. He achieved an amazing payout of $6,800 in a week. And the biggest trade that he had was actually on crypto. So Thato, I would just kindly ask you if you can tell us a little bit more about yourself, quickly introduce yourself.
Of course, and thank you for having me. My name is Thato Matebe. I'm from South Africa. By profession, I'm an accountant, but I decided to take trading as a full-time job. I think it's because I wanted to be in control of my life in general. You know, I don't want to be in an environment where somebody else can dictate whether I earn money or not. I love my profession. I'm an accountant because I like it, but I just don't want to be in a space where I have to go to work because I need to get paid. I want to do it because I love to do it, right?
Yeah,
So
that sounds great.
yeah, so I decided to, you have to learn a high value skill, like you just have to. So this is a skill I decided to learn, and I think I've started taking this seriously maybe around August 2023. I've been watching the markets though, and just trading here and there for maybe like 7 years. And it's not an easy thing. It's not a get rich quick thing, but when it happens, you know. And so that's what I like about this business. It's a really good business. The lowest cost of any form of a business, if you ever want to start a business, I think this is the lowest cost, in my opinion, because you can maybe spend maybe if we're talking South African rands, like you could spend at most with learning and trying things out around 50,000 rands. That's a lot, but over a period of 7 years, I don't know. Hey, if you succeed, you can make 50 times that, you know? And so, I mean, compared to opening up a shop or whatever, I think this beats it every single time. I think this is the best business in the world. And it's a very powerful tool to have in your locker room. You can fund any of your other businesses that you'd like to start with.
Yeah, and I think especially in these recent years with all these prop firms popping up, and you're actually able to access capital as well, because previously just trading, there was always something missing that you can make that big break, and that something missing was always the capital. Like that's why
Right.
we at Get Funded Now got into this business as well, because we knew that traders do need capital, but also on the other hand, we felt like we can improve conditions for traders as well.
And so that's true. I do think the one step is fantastic. Just prove that you're profitable. I mean, that's what a trader has to do. You have to be profitable, right? Two step, I think all your challenges make sense, and if you're not profitable, if you're not trading to be profitable, then I think you're in the wrong space.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
How was the overall experience with Get Funded Now for you?
Honestly, it's been great. I've met amazing people like yourself. I think my network is continuing to grow, like with people all over the world. I'm not saying I know any of the people from Get Funded. Like I don't know everyone personally or anything, but I think you guys are a great community. I think it's very important for like-minded people to group together and you know go towards one goal. I think it makes the goal a bit more achievable, quicker, and it's fun. You're not alone, you know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. That's
yeah,
true. It's also about the trading conditions. Like it's important to like good spreads, quick executions, all of that. How was your experience with that though? Do you feel like there was good trading conditions that we provided for you or?
yeah. I think well, perfect conditions. I mean, those spreads aren't crazy. Like, I mean, I had moments where I felt like there was nothing, there were no spreads because I'd enter a trade and it's like literally profitable. I guess it's because I was in the right momentum or something. But like, hey, you get some brokers like look, I live in South Africa, right? And there's one thing South Africans like doing. It's being the best, right? Like even if it's bad, it's a bad thing. They want to be the best at being bad. You understand? So we have a problem. We have a problem down here. We just want to be the best. You understand? And
Yeah.
so trust me, all these funded programs in South Africa, oh my god. Me personally, I've never put my money in a South African broker. Me personally, right? Because I know my people.
Yeah.
So I have some. I mean, I'm not saying all of them are bad. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all of them are bad, but most of them, like the ones
Yeah.
that are like really quick, you can like get do this, that.
Yeah.
Nah, my God. There are some friends that tell me like, yo, I'm entering into this trade and it's like going right, but like I'm in a loss. I'm like, ooh, that doesn't sound right, my friend.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it
So
can get to it can get to all of different situations with the different brokers and all that stuff. So the way we did it is that we have a very reputable broker that we work with, but it's also external. We're not our own broker as well. I think it's a form of hygiene as well to have an external broker who takes care of executions and that everything is like controlled on that side. And we do the same thing for the payouts. We have an external partner, Rise. So everything like has to run like really smoothly, and especially that it has to be fair to all the customers. I think that's really
Mhm.
important. But yeah, as far as
I
trading
like
goes, you need
I like
good
to add something.
conditions.
What you just said. Like, I did mention that I'm an accountant by profession, and like to be honest with you, what you've just mentioned is separation of duties, and that's very sound. Every single business need to have these kind of things for it to actually be like you're trying to minimize the possibility of messing up. Even if sometimes it's not even like you guys, maybe something happens and it's like it's not on purpose, you
Yeah.
know, and dividing the roles really well and giving power to like a third party to do specific things that is not your core business is very sound. It's a sound business model, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, like, remember when I thought my account was breached because I withdrew? Imagine
Yeah.
if like I wasn't. I don't know. Like it also allows you guys to deal with your problems.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to provide the best support possible, the most fair support possible, always responsive. There's no always transparent, no hiding, no whatever. We're always there for all the clients and just providing support through live chat, through email, all of
Yeah,
that. So yeah,
yeah,
it's I think
very
that's
true.
really important.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, appreciate
Yeah.
that. That's much appreciated. Also, I think it's really interesting. Like when I was checking your trading, I think it was really interesting. I don't know if you checked some of our previous interviews, but um, we had a couple of traders. Some of them are trading gold, some of them are trading FX, but I don't think I had anybody on the interview previously that was trading cryptos. And actually I saw S&P, and then also cryptos, Bitcoin, and then also some FX as well, some GBP, JPY. Can you maybe tell us how did you come up with that basket or? Is that like the only three markets that you trade, or you look at other markets as well?
No, that's the only three. Um, the thing is, I've also learned throughout time, and also with like the experience from Envy, learning, just sucking everything that he has to say. I watch those videos religiously, my friend. I'm not gonna lie to you. I watched them, and he made a very solid point. Focus on one thing, you know. And I've always felt like for you to get something done well, you need to focus on that one thing, right? So there's a lot of markets, my friend. Like you can look at this one, look at the next one,
Yeah, yeah,
and it will burst. Especially now with crypto, you can go and look at meme coins, my friend. You know, and I don't understand that stuff. That stuff looks dangerous to me personally. But hey, who am I to speak? People are making money. I love it.
also,
I love it
you've
when
done
people
pretty
make
well on
money.
crypto too, Tato. I think you killed your trade with crypto. You killed it on Bitcoin. That was your
We,
best trade.
it was. I mean, I watched it for a long time, and we're gonna get into that. Really, I think we should get into that one.
Yeah,
But as I was
yeah.
saying, you asked me
You're right. You're right.
how I
Let's
came
get
about with
into it.
the
Yeah,
basket, right?
you're right.
So
You're
let me
right.
just
Let's
answer
get
that, and
into it.
then yeah. Well, let me just answer your basket question, and
Okay.
then we'll get into it. Let me just share my screen though. So
Okay.
I came up with this basket because like I was learning the value trade with the S&P 500, right?
Mhm.
And like I felt like it made a lot of sense because we're trading actual companies and it made sense, right? And so that was the first one I was looking at. And Bitcoin, I've always watched Bitcoin for the past 4 years. And then the JPY, I really started getting to that because I realized that it's a basket of three. It's not really it's a synthetic pair, I think. Like it moves with the other two, which is like the USD JBP and USD JPY. So like I just kind of like when it's correlated. When this one,
Yeah,
if you
definitely.
yeah, if you multiply the two prices, it gives you JBP JPY, right?
Mhm.
And so I
Yeah,
was just like, oh, just do the math and kind of like just figure it out. There wasn't really a
yeah.
lot of
And it's
analysis
also a
there, to be honest.
nice, yeah, and it's also a nice pair because GBP JPY is the most volatile out of all these three. I mean, the biggest daily ranges, I think. USD JPY, it's pretty kind of solid, I would say, easy going. GBP JPY, there's a lot of volatile moves that you can catch as well, and when it goes, it can really like go to distance.
Hmm.
GBP USD, a bit more than Euro USD, but still, I think it's pretty stable. While GBP JPY can be, if those two economies start to,
Yeah,
start
yeah,
to work towards each other, it can go. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Interesting.
let me do this for you. Share my screen so I could talk
Yeah.
about that
Perfect.
Bitcoin.
Perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So this is
perfect.
kind of like how my trading view looks like. I did my analysis mostly on TradingView, to be honest. I didn't use Sierra charts or anything of
Mm-hmm.
sorts. And so let me zoom out so that we could get like a bigger picture. I like looking at things from the bigger picture and then zooming in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so as we can see, like, there's a lot of consolidation over here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of consolidation. Another move up. This is probably around the time, yeah, after the ETF got approved, the
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin ETF got approved. So I saw this and I knew, obviously, like, I mean, the Bitcoin halving is coming up soon. So obviously we're bullish. We've been bullish since last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So um, I then started watching this like a hawk, right? Because what this indicator kind of like helps me with is that I get to see like tops, right? And kind of like bottoms with these lines, right? And so my thinking was that, okay, I'm seeing this trend, as they would say. Like it's an upward trend. It's clear as day. So definitely we are not shorting anything. Why would we do that? So I then from the 14th, I was watching Bitcoin really closely because it had done this. Let me show you. I'm starting to remember this quite vividly.
Yeah,
It did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did this. Right? And these are 3 weeks, 4, 5. Yeah, these 3 weeks these are big. You know? And this, by the way, this is 15 minutes. Right?
Yeah.
So that's huge.
And also a lot
That
of
push,
volume there as well.
yeah, a lot of volume, right? So that's huge. And so I was like, okay, this is that $50,000 area. It's been resistance for a while, and it just blew right past it, like it was nothing. And so I was like, wow, that's amazing. That's really amazing. I love that. I love my bullish guys, you know. And so I watched it. I watched it. I watched it. I watched it. I saw it was balanced, right? Because um it was consolidating. I call it balance for the purpose of this conversation. I'm gonna try and play around the two: balance, consolidation. So I saw Bitcoin was consolidating and it was creating balance, right? I was seeing a value area develop, right? Or between the 50,000 and like the 52, right? So
Yes.
for a couple of days I'm watching this go up and down, up and down. I wanted to take a balanced trade, but deep down I was like, no, you know what you're looking for. I'm not gonna lie, that was so hard. Like it sounds easy, but the patience to actually tell myself no, that's not what you're looking for, was really hard.
And so basically after we broke through that 50K kind of psychological resistance zone, we established above that on that 51, 52, and that's what gave you kind of a signal that you were like, okay, I need to start like watching this even closer right now to maybe.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. And so I think on the 22nd is when I entered my trade, right? Somewhere here, because I was seeing that, okay, it's been balanced, it's behaving really well, it's controlled, it's really well. And once it got here, I realized that it's creating value around the value area low, which is like the lower end of the consolidation. I don't know. But yeah. So it was creating value around the value area low, and it just made sense for me that it will break out soon, right? So I entered the trade somewhere here. It went up, but it wasn't a breakout because. So what this indicator, why I like this indicator is because it's a clear. It shows you when a breakout is happening. You know, when you're not if you just looking at it without like this indicator. Let me do this. Oh, that's the volume. You would think, I mean, look, right? You would think that, oh, okay, yeah, it broke out a little bit, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it broke out a little bit, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, what's going on there?
Yeah, I see what you mean because it doesn't have that kind of a channel, right? That's the Donche channel indicator, right?
Yeah, that's the Donchain channel.
Yeah.
So it didn't hit the top of the Donchain channel. So, I mean, like when that happened, I was kind of sad. I was like, dang. But hey, I guess let's just wait. Let's be patient. Yeah. And so it kind of like played around. And then I was in drawdown at some point. And I was like, what is going on? You know? But I waited patiently. I waited. And then I saw this happen, right? So in my head, I was like, okay. So yeah, it was building value around the value area low. in my the conceptual thing, but like right now it's building value around this the Don chain. I think it's the mean or something like that. And I was like, okay, this is yeah, I think this is a good trade. And then it did that, right? It hit the top, right? And then I'm seeing it just stay above this yellow line. I'm gonna just
Now
call it
it's
a yellow line,
building.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so it was. I felt like my Don chain channels were getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and it felt like a squeeze, right? So I held, and then this happened, right? This right here. So this is kind of like my indication that yes, it's breaking out officially. When this happened, and I asked myself, I was like, if I was in the stock market, I would have taken those profits, right here. But this is Bitcoin, and this thing is very volatile, right? So I'm gonna continue holding. Let's see how far this thing goes. So I think I held up until somewhere there, right? And I think it made a lot of sense because also with the large trade index, the volume was starting to go down, like the buying volume was starting to go down. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? This is not a bad trade. This is a good trade. I was patient. It was hard, but it happened. It didn't happen when I wanted it to happen, but it happened. You know,
It was.
it took time, but you know, as they say, like, you know, anything over a longer period of time, most of the time bears more fruit.
Yeah, also I like the logic. I like the logic of closing that trade there. Obviously, yeah, it ran even more. If you would hold it, you would make more. Of course, we're always trying to make more, but I like the logic because if we just look at the first push out, so big volume, big push out, big candles, everything good, but it didn't really consolidate. It just consolidated a little bit, and then another big push, and then consolidation a little bit, and then another big push. So as long as that's happening, we all know that there's no sellers, there's no profit taking from the longs, and market is still kind of searching for new value area where we can get back to balance or something. And then you took it out as soon as that actually happened. If we can see the volume taper down, market starts to contract. That's definitely a good area to get out.
That is true because I mean, like, after that, I mean,
A lot of consolidation. It was
yeah.
And also that wash there. Look at that wash. Those wicks there. That's just in the middle there. Yeah, that's like.
This wick.
Yeah. This was a big inventory wash, I think. So it was.
Yeah, that was nasty.
That was nasty. A lot of people really got taken out there. So.
Yeah, a lot of people got liquidated probably from here. That was just nasty. I feel like that's manipulation. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, so that was the logic behind this trade, and I think it gave me the most profit. Right?
Yeah, it was. That was your most profitable trade. You actually took it. You actually took 4 entries on the 22nd. So you were kind of averaging in to get the best price.
Correct. Yeah, it was. And I also I also like what Envy does in a way, like throughout the course of where you're going, take some profits, my guy. You know, it's your money. You're making this money. Take some profits, you know. And so I was averaging in and also allowing myself to take profits as it's going.
Yeah, exactly.
And leave the bigger chunk to run the whole way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Exactly. Yeah, you took the most, like the biggest one was definitely taken at almost 28. Yeah, 51,780. So.
Yeah. So.
Oh, sorry, 56. Sorry, 56,740. That was the close price. I was talking about the entry. Yeah, the entry was around 51. Yeah, you closed it around 57 grand. So yeah.
No, even higher than that. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, somewhere there.
It's a
And
it's a nice, very nice area to take profits. Absolutely.
oh, it's crazy that it bounced right back where I took my profit.
Yeah, yeah. Is it also,
But anyway,
do you always use kind of, if I understand correctly, your approach is you like to look at don chains and also the value areas, but also like the overall, I think there was you gave out a really good information for everybody that's going to be watching this, and it was that you look at the big picture first. You like to zoom out, you like to assess the
correct.
context. So you always go like that. You always go like
Mm-hmm.
firstly with context, and this was obviously a
Always.
breakout trade. Do you like to trade breakouts the most, or if you could just elaborate like more on your approach, like you go context and then.
So I like to trade breakouts the most.
Hmm.
Um, it's just my personal interest.
Yeah.
And with breakouts, you need to understand the context. You can't just gamble,
Hmm.
hope that it's going to break out to your favor. You
Yeah.
see? So that's why I will always start with the bigger picture. What's the bigger picture? What are we doing? Why are we doing it? Right? And from then on, that's when I take a microscope and I look. Right? I pay attention. Obviously, there are specific time frames. Like, for example, one thing I noticed from just watching the market is that after the ETF got approved, every single morning, like 30 minutes to an hour within the American trading desk time, like the regular trading hours,
Yeah.
there would be a lot of inflow of cash, like a lot. It's just
Yeah.
it was almost religious, right? And sometimes it wouldn't push the market at all. Sometimes it would a little bit. Like sometimes it would do something like this. I'm sure. Like let me try and even look because in my time zone that's around 3:30, right?
Hmm.
So let's see on the 22nd of Feb, right? Look, it's 3:30. Look what happens. Boom, right? Let's look for another day. You know, uh, 3:30. Yeah, sure. Not a lot of volume though. And I want to see the
This was
day it
actually
actually
it.
broke out
Yeah.
of. Yeah, the same thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what made me confirm that. Yep, I got you.
There we go.
Definitely
Yeah.
got you. Yep. And so I just held it. I just kept it because it was the right context, the right analyzation, and I gave it a lot of time. I think that's very important. You need to give yourself a lot of time. You you I'm a sports guy, right? Like I love sports, right? I play football, and man, you can't play soccer without training. You know, you can't just get up from your bed and go play ball and expect to be the best. You're gonna suck,
A lot of patience
unfortunately.
and discipline goes into it before you achieve, definitely.
Correct. So that's kind of like my approach. Um, so yeah, man, that's really what I did, and it paid off, evidently.
Played
So
off very well. Very well.
yeah,
Almost 7 grand in actually 1 week. That was actually in 1 week.
that was 7 days, my friend.
Yeah.
7 days. I used to make 7 grand in 3 months. In 3 months, my friend, I used to make 7 grand in 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. Well, kind of like 2.5, but like 3 months.
Well played, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I made it in 7 days. So hey, what can we say?
And also with a breakout trade. Breakout, as you said, I think it's really important that like the you look at context when trading the breakouts, because breakouts can be, I would say, one of maybe more difficult conditions to trade, because you're actually speculating that the value is going to shift, which is
Oh.
actually maybe a bit harder to speculate than maybe when you already see where the value is and you just trade based on that value. But with a breakout, you're actually speculating, okay, this value is gonna get run over. We're gonna break out of there. So basically,
Oh.
while we're still in that value, that's what you did here. We were still in that 51, 52K value.
Mm.
You were anticipating already, look, yeah, we're just here, but this is a pit stop for us because I'm already loading up on my longs because the value is going to be higher. So I think that's why it's important to have context, and it definitely helped that you were already observant of that when market was coming from 42, because 42 was a pretty good value as well. It was very well settled there. So
It was,
yeah,
it
that's
was,
great,
it
man.
was.
That's great. I think you really outlined it nicely for all our traders. You can maybe close the screen share now.
All right,
It's
no problem.
we really appreciate it. This was really nice. I'm really looking forward to getting this interview out to the public. It's our first crypto trader interview as well. I mean, you're not just a crypto trader, of course, but we didn't have a lot of payouts based on crypto, and you obviously knew what you were doing. So I think it's really good that you contributed with all your insights on that trade. Like, much appreciated.
Of course.
Basically, of course, I have to ask you, I ask everybody, it's important to us. Would you recommend Get Funded now to other traders as well, and why?
No brainer, of course, my friend. Go get funded by GFN. Why? Man, look, I'm really community based, bro. The first thing, the support is awesome. The people are great. They're not spooky. You know, sometimes you're doing business with someone and you don't really see them. You know,
Yeah.
I'm seeing you right now. You know, I have your WhatsApp number. You know, we spoke before. You know, and so that's very important for me personally. In any business, you need to be transparent with
Yes.
your vendors, your clients, everything. You need to be fully transparent. And as I said, like, I'm an accountant, so I had to do my due diligence first, you know, and I feel, well, in my opinion, it was quite reputable enough for me to take that risk, and it paid off, right? Because it's still a risk at the end of the day, right?
Of course.
Mm-hmm. So, and what impressed me the most is that Get Funded has structured itself in a way that kind of is also accounting approved, you know, like you guys have separated duties, you know, the payouts are handled by a different entity,
Mhm.
you know, you guys are not your own broker, you guys are just focused on funding traders. And that's
Yeah.
amazing, you know, that's beautiful, bro. I think it doesn't get better than this.
That's perfect. I really appreciate the feedback, man. Very, very detailed, and it's really good to hear that all the efforts that we put in, being rewarded with words like that, it really means a lot to us. So really, really thank you for that.
Of course.
I think we can finish it here. I think that you gave us a lot of insights. I just want to officially once more thank you for taking your time and sharing your approach. I'm sure it's going to help a lot of traders out there, especially with these times when crypto is very popular. So just in the name of the whole GFN team, we thank you for your time, and we also wish you all the best with your trading, and hopefully we see more results like this from you.
Of course. The results are going to keep coming, my friend. Trust. And man, I want to thank you guys because you guys have allowed me to get a platform to change my life, bro. So
Thank you, Thato. Much appreciated. All the best with your trading.
yes, sir.
And there you have it. This concludes our insightful conversation with Thato. How interesting was that, right? Holding a Bitcoin trade over multiple days, waiting for a breakout required a lot of patience and conviction, which deserves recognition from us. Remember, focus on the process, stay disciplined, and the results will follow. Stay tuned for more discussions and valuable insights from Get Funded now. Until next time, happy trading!